big parry opportunity. Well, Bayonetta's humanoid boss fights are garbage. They're some of the worst in the genre. They're like really objectively bad. Most of them you can't even hit outside of Witch Time, which feels incredibly artificial. This game doesn't have anything stupid like that. This game actually has quite well-designed boss fights. Like, better than a lot of other smaller games like this. The only thing that's annoying about this fight is that the minions keep coming back. It's just something I don't particularly like in any game. You get the health. They're coming back faster now, too. You gotta go. Okay, this is getting kind of dumb now. She's easy to fight, it's just these fuckers keep coming back. Keep respawning. No more. Stop summoning more! Is there like an end to them? They're not the same spawns every time, it's summoning some of the endgame enemies now. I'm just annoyed with it. Ah. This is not fun. Coming back and coming back and coming back. Stay dead. I need the health. Whoa, what's this? Okay, you gotta go. Jeez, what a fight. Damn, I'm sweating from that. Uh, so there is a limit to the spawns. That's good to know. So I guess she has like phases that she does. So you know that wasn't a bad fight. It's just kind of frustrating, but it's still better than like a lot of other fights in games like this. It's challenging. It wasn't challenging in the right way in some ways, but it's still better than anything in something like Bayonetta 2, where the whole combo system doesn't work, and you have to be in witch time to do any damage at all. I think that game had like the worst humanoid bosses I've fought in any of these games, and I've played most of them, most if not all of them. The good ones anyway. It's just one of many things that game did horribly wrong. They actively prevent you from using the combo system, and then the bosses can just arbitrarily tech out whenever they want. I like how this game does it. You know, you can combo them to oblivion, but you actually have to learn their movesets, and you know, parries obviously help, just dodges help, and you have a clear-cut indication of when they're going to stagger. Also, you can hit them from behind too, but it seems like it does less damage, and also at any given point they can tech out. I think this game actually does it really well. It does a good job of balancing, you know, being able to do crazy shit on the bosses and them actually being able to fight. And then they also have, most of them have pretty good tells on their attacks. And Joker can be a little bit hard to read. Their attacks come out a lot faster than the others. But there's no stupid stuff like one-frame attacks and like just randomly having armor and stuff. You always know exactly when you can capitalize on damage, which is what makes this game so good. Also, you don't have a large health bar in this game. It actually gets smaller as you go farther in the difficulties. So that's how they balance it too. You can't really tank anything in this game. Everything does 1 point of damage, and on the hardest difficulty, you only have 3 hit points. You do get health back from guard breaking, but then you also kind of have to figure out how to get down to the health. If you were attacking them in the air and they got guard broken, actually get the health and still continue the combo. You saw me do that a couple times there. I went back down with Asaru with the Helm Breaker to get the health, and then I chained it to the ASAP slash so that the combo would still go. But in general, you can't tank anything in this game. The bosses are almost as fragile as you are. I don't like extreme mode in this that much because they get a lot of health, and a lot of the pacing kind of feels off, which is not really exclusive to this game. I mean, most action games in general, they just give the enemies tons of health, and that's how they make it harder. Unfortunately, it's not like Streets of Rage 4, where they just attack more often and they're more aggressive, but they don't have any more health. There's very few games that adopt that kind of difficulty design. You know, it's like the pacing of the game isn't affected. The game is obviously harder, but It's not harder by just having to do the same thing for like 3 times as long, which is boring and exhausting and makes fatigue set in quickly. It's really just Joker, and extreme mode in this can get a little bit repetitive. Just how little damage you do. They give them way more health. Yeah, light side Bayonetta 2 is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Like, some of those attacks have, like, no tells at all, and because of the way the humanoid bosses are designed, you don't even really get a good reward for dodging them or getting witch time. The witch time is like, it's like half a second in that game, so you basically just punch them twice, which is not rewarding. I like how this game does it. You know, not only do you get to go crazy with whatever crazy combo you can bust out in this game, you get a really good visual feedback for it. I think visual feedback is one thing this game really does well. Obviously, the assets themselves are not great. I mean, I have it on like max settings, 1440p right now, and it still looks like something you could run on like PS3. But this game does visual feedback and presentation really well. There's like that awesome glass shattering ring and the sound effect that comes out when you guard break them and you get health. And you have like a very distinct bar at the top that tells you when they're going to stop staggering. Okay, so the only thing I have left to unlock at this point is Spy Must Die, and that's beating... I need to beat this campaign again on Extreme, and I don't feel like doing that right now. Yeah, that's all that's left. One other pet peeve with this game is that it kills your score when you use tag mode, which is kind of weird because using 2 characters is harder than 1. It's such a fast-paced game, and there's no camera trick in this game either, so enemies can hit you off screen, and most of the attacks are ranged, so you have to really pay attention and know when to cancel into things. You can't just mindlessly button mash. I think it's kind of dumb that using the unlockable tag mode wipes out your score, but I don't see any reason to not play on tag mode because the game is objectively more fun with it. It's a really fun game with just 1 character, but with